It's Michael André Ford in San Antonio. Hi, it's Michael André Ford in San Antonio, Texas. Your angel intuitive. I'm giving this another go. Facebook outage, big Facebook outage. Cut off the video. So my name is Michael Ford, Michael André Ford in Texas. I picked up a skill maybe 8, 9, 10 years ago. I've helped a lot of folks. And what do? I help you actually meet, hear, see, and feel a lot of unconditional love figures, 150 plus. I help you do the unimaginable. It's impossible that angels exist, and yet you get answers to any questions directly. I step out of the way. I stay out of it. I don't see your answers, hear your answers for the most part. And so you get any answers to any questions in detail. All languages are spoken. I have photos of angels. You get to see full on. I baby step you on that because it's so much for the human ego, for thinking, for what you know, your reality that's very real to you. So I help you get out of what you know long enough to just simply be here to listen. We all know what real listening is about. It's a rarity. We're usually doing something else when we're acting like we're listening. Let's do it a different way. When you're watching TV these days, who doesn't have an iPad, a laptop, an iPhone nearby and is surfing the news or social media while you're supposed to be watching that amazing Netflix series? Yellowstone, something like that. So, long story short, there's been a lot of spiritual, a lot of self help authors. They're all trying to help you get over your own obstacles. And everything in your life is going to feel like it happened to you. And it's going to oftentimes be painful or something you're suffering through or not enjoying, to put it mildly. Everything is your instruction. Everything is an opportunity for you to slow down and change perspectives. If you look back at the last 10 obstacles you've already dealt with, 10 obstacles, 10 problems, 10 things, the divorce. You went through the divorce 10 full years back. You don't even think about it anymore. Think about how you maneuvered through those situations and how you don't even think about it anymore. You're on to new, greener, hopefully greener, more fun pastures. This is sort of the same thing, but much quicker. You get a chance to get out of what you know, your fixed perspective, your mindset. And there's a reason why it's called a mindset. You're set in your mind. You get to your heart. You might have to give ground a little bit. Blue and brown shoes are not my favorite, but maybe I'm going to wear a pair. You're going to have to get out of what you know long enough to listen. You asked for it. Ask for angels to help. Ask the questions you need to ask. Ask what you've forgotten to ask. What do I need to know that would help me in this life stage? What is this life stage about? What do I need to put my focus on more? What can I do less of daily, more of daily? Start doing, stop doing, keep doing. That start, stop, keep exercise is wonderful. You don't have to know what questions you're going to ask. Just ask 3 Native American chiefs, Dole Knife, Red Shirt, Geronimo. Ask them what you should ask angels. And then you sit down with angels, you meet angels. You listen. You have to know how to operate a Bic pen and how fast can you listen and write. That's it. Yes, at the very beginning, it's a little tricky. You're thinking it's like a bike and you're a kid and you're scared of riding the bike in the first 5 minutes. But, it wobbles, you get worried, you get over that, you start riding your bike. So it's like brushing your teeth. It's like falling asleep at night. It's like driving a car when you first learned how to drive a car. It's a lot of fun. And that's the other thing. Meeting angels, it's fun to do. You have no privacy. They've been with you your whole life. You have a guardian angel. I want you to disagree with me across the board on everything. I mean, if it's not religious enough for you, fantastic. If it's impossible, fantastic. I'm not telling you you have to change any of your thinking. I want you to be you. Always do your thing. You're living your unique life path. I am saying you can do it more efficiently. You can have more fun. You can have your cake, eat it too. Own that bakery. Every cake has no calories. You can ship those cakes worldwide. Own the trucking fleet, the jet fleet, and every cake equals a smile, and you can deliver those to others by the millions. So that to me is kindness, compassion, love, being in your heart, and really being that fearless NASA astronaut. And I love that quote that I had in my most recent post. At the very, very end, I jam in a lot of stuff. It's an advertisement these days, a lot of those posts. Sorry about that. But a man has to eat. I think we've got Story Musgraves, the NASA astronaut, talking about how exploration is getting out of the comfort zone. And any discomfort you feel on most situations, unless you're being roasted alive in Africa or Asia somewhere, an indigenous tribe that hasn't had contact with civilization, no offense meant. If you're being roasted alive, that's genuine discomfort. Everything else is generally thinking, egoic discomfort. And I help a person park their thinking aside to be in their heart to receive all. And so by all, yes, getting answers to your questions is fantastic. We're Americans for the most part probably watching the broadcast. If you're from abroad, hello, welcome. Joy Cooper, Willett, thank you for chiming in. I think it's fantastic to ask questions and get your answers. The ego loves that. After a little while, they're like, wow. Your thinking side is like, wow, I'm getting any answers for my business. Business people are some of my favorite. They're more disciplined than someone in the spiritual crowd. And everyone's good where they're at, but you can get answers to any questions, any level of detail. I wish more scientists would take me up on this. It's harder sometimes for certain scientists. They're locked in the way everything is to allow for beings that are beyond the human experience to come in and simply assist. They have no agenda. It's called love, compassion. Everyone is somewhere in their life. Everyone can experience a little bit more of a breath, calm, a little less rat race, which is thinking. I know we tend to think rat race is out in the big cities or at a big corporation and so on, and yes, it is, but thinking itself is the rat race. It's the only obstacle. And it's the scariest thing for most of us. It's still scary for all of us, even if you've met angels for 5 years in a row, have seen them full on standing there with or without wings, with Mary, with Jesus, with Muhammad, with Buddha, with Plato, Seneca, Seth, Sylvia Brown. You can meet all them. Full on hearing, full on hugs, healing as well. I've had 3 colorblind people see colors. You see colors that are beyond human definition. It's just what I've learned with helping folks over 8-9 years now and 2,000 plus folks, especially having reached out to so many organizations that are rah, self-help, rah, woo-woo, spiritual, this retreat, this wellness retreat. It's wellness, spiritual stuff, self-help, it's big business, and they're all doing a wonderful job. If somebody resonates and connects with, name the organization, name the author, it's fantastic. That's what they should be doing. But at some point, you're realizing you're depending on others. And what I'm trying to point to here is you're not really depending on me. I kick or crack the door open this much. I remove the veil. You get to meet unconditional love, angels, a lot of angels. Everyone has a guardian angel, a cheerleading squad. You get to meet, yes, light beings exist. Yes, unconditional love. Spirit guides are much closer to earth, much easier to talk to. Dull Knife, Red Shirt, Geronimo. They are 3 of the best, like your long lost uncles. They can see into the future if it makes you feel more comfortable to hear it that way. And they have permission to give you specific detailed steps, guidance to get from any point A to any point B. You're talking business. I love business people. They know exactly what they want to have happen in the future. They know their model, or they aren't too aware of their own weaknesses or the weaknesses of the model. They can get all that fixed and be more action, more profitable, more fun. If they're having fun, their coworkers are having fun. Their clients are having fun. And the more successful you are and more happy you are here, the more it'll resonate, the more it helps fellow man. So getting answers is good. You can get hugs. The more you get the hugs and the more you get over the concept of just feeling a little bit here or there, the more those hugs grow. And there are 10,000 ways to get a hug. But those hugs also can become healing. The seeing, same thing. I baby step you through letting go and seeing with your heart instead of the brain. So you're seeing with all of you. All of this could be described in Zen or Buddhist-like terms. You do hearing without hearing, feeling without feeling, seeing without seeing. You're letting go. Being, full-on being in your heart. You are going to always be doing being at least 10% of your day for the rest of your life. Congratulations. So you don't need me, you don't need angels, but why wouldn't you want to invite in a little more compassion, a little more love? And if the universe does exist, it's not just about man and thinking and our science. Maybe we can all have a little more fun in life, a little more peace, a little more harmony. If everyone did this much more listening and just relaxed in their thinking 10% more a day. 10%. That's it. Being happy 10% a day for absolutely no reason at all. Call it taking a breath. Call it smiling. Call it petting a dog, going for a walk, and so on. Imagine what a shift it would be in the consciousness collectively for mankind. And if you gave me 3 hours flat, every satellite hookup, somehow I had a big reputation, and somehow you've already met the angels or at least seen them or you know they exist, your friends have done this, imagine what would happen in 3 hours flat if mankind was actually inclined to do something about their consciousness state. Again, everyone's good where they are. Angels are here to help, and I think topics like politics, climate change, all those externals kind of confuse the situation. The thinking that we're talking about is the big issue. Humans do tons of thinking. That is judging, reacting, knowing, the type of knowing where I'm still with the person who knows something. But at the end of the day, it's at that level. Yes, you know that that's the situation. That person over there is really complex. We know that. There's something bigger and that we all miss. It's compassion. It's Christmas Carol Scrooge. I love bringing that one up. 79-page book. The guy at the beginning of the book is complex. We don't want to say jerk. He is dental floss when it comes to his universal life force flow. He is about money only. He's not about helping anybody else or himself. He's not about happiness or experiencing more love. Bah humbug. But at the end of the book, the guy's the biggest joy bringer, joy giver there is. That is all of us in every day. Even if you're the best consummate professional, Eckhart Tolle still has ebbs and flows, still has thinking, still has to deal with stuff. So say a kind word for him and wish him well. Fantastic material. He is a big one to help crack the walnut, to separate one's thinking from one's consciousness or being, and to begin the journey for someone. It's just allowing for something more than what you know. There are people who are shut tight like an oyster, and all of us remain shut tight like an oyster on certain fronts. It's just the way the human condition, human nature is going to be. Very few people are wide open on everything. They've got their nuances. That's what makes the contrast, as Esther Hicks would say, in the whole Abraham Hicks thing, so fantastic, so flavorful. Wouldn't want to change a thing. So you have no privacy. Angels just know where you're at. And if the timing is right and you're open, you can ask for help. Step out of your own way and do some basic listening. You just have to know how to operate a pen. Silently, you ask some questions, get some answers. As soon as you start getting the swing of it, the questions become more pronounced, more detailed. Multiple answers to the same questions, multiple figures. So you get to meet Mother Teresa. You get to meet the actual Sai Baba from 100 years ago. Compassion, compassion, compassion. The guy straddles Buddhism, the Hindu thing, Islam. He's compassion. Just here to help. They all have their own teachings, and it all centers around unconditional love and compassion. They're here to help you grow. Yes, getting answers is fantastic, but a hug could be worth 1,000 questions and answers. And seeing is really important too. You don't have to have a photograph. I've got photographs, I use historical ones. Historical photos will move, wink, smile, shoulders move, hands move. The impossible stuff. It's crazy. But it happens. And you get to see full on with your own eyes. And when I say I remove the veil, I remove the veil. If you can own the angel part, and, maybe meet Buddha, Chogyam Trungpa, Kuan Yin, Plato, Seneca, Sylvia Brown, Seth, Jane Roberts from the 70s. He's a light being. You can probably meet a passed over relative as well. You have to own it. This is all ownership. There's a lot of folks who struggle to get in touch with me or have a hard time maneuvering through my website or booking a session. I think the record is 2 years for someone to circle around talking about booking a session. But when the time's right and you can get to here, no limits is no limits. You book the session, you simply have to show up and receive all. You get out of your own way, out of thinking, you're in that big heart of yours, and that's where everything that's important happens. Love, 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 love. If you were on your last breath, having your life flashed before your eyes, you would have to come to the conclusion that all the good moments happened when you were here. And yes, you might have a fleeting thought of like, wow, I should have been here a little more. I was a dummy. I should have loved this person, done this, done that, da-da-da-da-da. So my advice is seize the bull by the horns, meet some angels, meet some Native American chiefs, Crazy Horse, Black Elk as well, Del Knight Richard Geronimo, White Buffalo, Calf Woman. Any discomfort is thinking. The ego wants to keep you safe. The ego keeps you locked tight like an oyster. The ego does its knowing, stuck in knowledge, stuck in a hamster wheel or spinning of thoughts. Judgments about others, anything to distract you from getting to the one place where you can take a breath, take a load off, and actually enjoy life. So it's a fantastic experience. I have gotten shot down by so many folks over time. And that doesn't mean I haven't had like a good 4,000 folks be super supportive, super nice. They've done it. I used to give the service away for 7 or 8 years. I'm trying to be super disciplined now in charging. And I've got 4 levels of interaction. You can grab me for a session, but it's $250 for 90 minutes. I go a little bit over if you'll give me some leeway. If you're fun, I'll introduce you to some more characters. You meet at least 3 angels: Mother Teresa, Sai Baba, Chogyam Trungpa, Native American chiefs Dol Knife, Richard Geronimo. For 1,100, you get me for a whole day, 7 hours. You are busy. It's a marathon. It's like doing a dance contest. Don't plan to go out that night. You're going to go to bed early. It's a little bit like that whole John of God Brazil thing. You're in the flow, and it's a little bit like the remote healing stuff as well. You're going to want to go to bed early, drink a lot of water, eat your favorite food, stuff like that. But this is a full-on experience. I step out of the way. I try not to hear any of your answers, anything like that. I don't see your answers. I ask you to share. In the old days, I used to go over all the answers with everybody. Now I want you to get your answers, but my belief is you should do your own listening. This defies the 1920s, 1930s psychic stuff. And I'm still a huge Tyler Henry Hollywood medium fan. I love what he does. I wouldn't want to change a thing. I loved reading his book, Tyler Henry, Between Two Worlds. He asked a couple questions in that book, 3, 4, or 5 questions about angels and other stuff that I would love one day to just give him a quick answer on. And I would love to not give him the quick answer on. I would love to introduce him to angels that he would be able to see directly and get those answers directly, because he would hear it just the way he needs to hear it. This is what I'm talking about, not interfering, helping a person grow in a way that angels do the managing. Angels know exactly where you're at. They know if there's 1,000 ways to say something, they know the 7 ways that Joy Cooper Willett, who signed on and said hi just now, that Joy Cooper Willett needs to hear it. And the 2 ways that if Joy hears it, she's going to be super excited. So this is about 1 + 1 = 11. This is about, I'm with you on the skepticism thing. Do angels exist? Blah, blah, blah. And you know what? If you've got the skepticism, you're not ready. And that's fine. Don't. It's like NFL. If you don't like football, don't watch the games. It's ballerinas. If you don't like opera, don't go to the opera. But if you're like, hey, I want to have more fun in life, and I'm not hung up on details as much, or who I am in this all the flavor, and I'm more of an adventure, thrill seeker, and I want to have more fun, excitement, more interaction, more contrast, more living, more basic living in the heart. How about that? More sensations, more experiences, more compassion, growth at a soul level. How about that? Then take the chance. Grab me. $250 for 90 minutes, $1,100 for 7 hours. I've got 2 programs that are 3 months and 6 months, and I think that's super important. I've had 90% of people be like, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. They come in, they meet angels. It's a lot. It's a lot even for the 30, 40-year intuitive veterans or those who are well-known figures in the wellness industry. It takes a lot for someone to stay in touch with me. It's such a shock to the ego, to the thinking, to a person's role that they serve in society, to meet angels. You are literally getting any answers to any questions, but you're literally feeling love and compassion. You can see compassion in a whole room. You can smell any ocean anywhere in the world. You can go surfing, guided meditation for all of a minute. Angels take over. You can go surfing like a professional anywhere in the world. You get hugs. The hugs later become healing after you get over the whole concept of asking for a hug and feeling for a hug. A hug is 10,000 different ways. Even a hand on the shoulder, even a feather, even a wind in a room. All the stuff that's unimaginable and impossible to do is what happens when you give yourself permission to let go and the veil is removed. So Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel, Raphael, they exist. Abe, the Abraham of old, looks like a grandfatherly figure, a cross between Dumbledore and Gandalf. Fatherly energy, super gentle. He doesn't teach fishing, he hands out fish. When he's in human form down on earth, he's helping people out. Could be, well, I'll skip the details, but I've seen him in human form. And I've seen angels in human form. So I know that the idea of photos of angels is a big deal in one sense. And I remember the Simon Schuster lady saying, orbs, we love angels, but those are orbs and photos. I've got many, many, many images beyond orbs if it was to be analyzed and we had a whole committee of scientists. The photos change colors, they change shapes. They're angels, but you get to see with your own eyes. And on top of that, you can accidentally bump into an angel if it's meant to be. Whether there's a word exchange or not, just as you're going into the Starbucks, you might run into an angel who holds the door open for you. They're just there to kind of boost your week, tell you something that you needed to hear. You're in the middle of a hard stretch. I've been on some trips abroad, Sweden, Hawaii, and I've run into angels, and it made my trip. So, I mean, I've seen angels in human form, I don't know, 12, 15, 25 times. Who knows? Not important to count that. But so what I'm trying to say is no limits really means no limits. Thinking is about measuring, evaluating, judging, trying to put a cage around this or some sort of explanation for it. And I'm telling you to let go of the metrics long enough to get your answers, get your hugs, and to do the faith thing. But I'm not talking religious faith or anything else. I mean, it's religious faith. It's non-religious faith too. They're the same thing. It's letting go and trusting that everything as it is already is of the highest intent, and that meeting angels is of the highest intent. Let them do their job. Let them come in and help. How many people do you know would ever even call a timeout to go full stop and be like, hey, I could use some help in my life. This business, should I get this car? Where should I go for the cup of coffee? Which pet should I buy that would be a good fit for me? Where should I move next? Ask anything. What are the 10 steps I could do for my health? What could I start doing, stop doing, keep doing? What are my habits? What life stage am I in? What life stage will I be in next? What book should I write? Could you outline the whole book for me? How could I get to know my own guides, my own angels better? Ask anything, and you'll quickly find, and it's stunning, you can get any answers to any questions. I still think the hugs, one hug that's a good hug, can be worth 1,000 questions. And I think if you do this long enough over time, it's all about the human condition, the human nature thing. It's everything literary, whether it's Joseph Conrad's Heart of Darkness to Charles Dickens, again, Christmas Carol. Every bit of movie, every bit of book reflects the human condition. There is thinking up here, the knowing, the judging, the squishing of life, love, and compassion towards self and others. And then there's the heart, which is love. And love not shared is not really love. There's a lot of love running around calling itself love that is really conditional love. There are a lot of experts out there that want you to think their way, want you to do their seminars and courses. I say do them all, even if they're not that efficient and everything else. At some point, you're going to get tired of that stuff, and you're going to want to go within your own abilities. They're full on there. I help a person blow out their intuitive skills. There's a lot more you can do besides just listening to angels, getting hugs, and seeing. Again, 3 people who are colorblind saw colors. You can get healing. If there's no limits in life, you ask and receive. It is really hard to walk around and allow for all these possibilities. The good news is you are where you're at, and it's perfect. It's great. Very few people even want to acknowledge that life, California with the wildfires, that everything is hunky-dory as it is. It defies logic. It's much easier to jump on the complaining wagon. Man is cruel. Man is this. Man is that. This party is that. This person is that. That type of judging, whether people realize it or not, is a form of negativity. It's a small amount of negativity, but it's unfortunately what we're doing 80% of our days. Now, I'm not here to say that needs to change. Ideally, it would be great. And yes, mankind over time is going to do a little less thinking. Thinking itself is the rat race. Nothing that I'm saying is my own thought. It's just stuff I've picked up from 20 to 30,000 questions getting answered by angels or Native American chiefs. So 10% less thinking a day is the suggestion. What's that translate to? An hour or two? Go for a run, breathe, relax. If you can catch yourself judging your neighbor, your friend, yourself, and you can just sort of laugh and take a breath. Instead of my problem is, one of the top 10 lines by ego. You know you're thinking when you say my problem is. Switch to the heart. This is my opportunity to slow down and maybe grow in a certain area. I don't know how to write a book. I could never go for a run. I can't do this. I can't do that. I will never get to Hawaii. Switch it around and allow for just the tiniest bit of light to come into the situation, tiniest bit of possibility. And I like to suggest before bed, if you're never going to talk to angels and you're not going to actually engage me, go ahead and just trust that you're heard. Put out the requests. Spend your time allowing for life as it is to come in and do its job. It's the alchemist. The universe will conspire to bring you what you want if you can get out of the whole negativity bucket of constantly saying how something is. The less you reinforce that with your concrete thinking, the more you're allowing change. Think about any situation from your past. A divorce that's 10 years behind you that you're a little more forgiving on. Forgiving towards yourself, forgiving towards the past partner, and forgiving for the circle of friends that you felt judged you or however it went down. My point is, it's easier. When you look back, things tend to make more sense. Now picture what happens if in the moment, during a typical day, you're catching yourself taking a breath, smiling, taking a load off, not being as driven up here and a little more here. I'm not saying don't do great business. I'm not saying you're not entirely correct with that thinking. But that's where Byron Katie does such a great job. She crowbars you away from your thinking and points out that it's not quite true no matter how accurate it is and how right you were in that snapshot at the time. She brings in a little bit of light, a little bit of possibility, and she's very good for those who are just constantly stuck in their thinking. So grab Byron Katie. Eckhart Tolle, A New Earth, Power of Now. That author is fantastic for helping you separate your thinking from your being, your consciousness. And once that's begun, there's no sticking the genie back in the bottle. So speaking of genies, there's a jinn or elemental who's East Asian mysticism, unconditional love figure, part of the crew. You can meet him. He's a walking encyclopedia, total treat to meet, charmer, just absolutely a joy. So the universe is far bigger than we ever allow it to be. Beyond, it's that Horatio quote, Shakespeare. It's bigger than, anything we've dreamt of in our reality. It's a big leap, a big concept. But I think with everything going on out there, all these self-help, all these woo-woo-woo, all these spiritual authors, they're all doing a fantastic job. They've gotten you this far. If you're hearing these words, angels exist. You can meet angels. Full on. Get your answers. All you have to worry about doing is using the ink in your pen and how fast you write. Some people, 10 questions can take 15 minutes. Most folks, 10 questions can take 40 minutes, an hour. I help people pick up the pace very quickly. And you don't need the photos. You don't need paper and pen. You can have a photo on your cell phone, be on a walk. You don't even have to have the cell phone. You can look out and see an angel by a tree and have a two-way conversation. And one day you might get comfortable enough to put some tea out and sit and have a little bit of conversation over tea. Audrey Hepburn's an angel. 25 years she's passed over. Fantastic angel. There's an angel named Grace. There's a hope. There's a faith. There's a harmony. There's a joy. I think you're getting the idea here. Full-on personality, different colors. Angels come in all shapes, sizes, colors, from all different backgrounds. Forgive my enthusiasm, but that's where I'm coming from. Any complaining that I did here, it's just how it's been. Everything has taught me a little bit more patience, a little bit more of a sense of humor. It's astounding to me to look at the current wellness landscape, the current spiritual healing, woo-woo-woo landscape. I mean, everyone's doing their thing and it's working out fantastic, but there's just an entire layer or missing layer of actual engagement with the universe that is, I guess, coming in now. If I've been lucky enough to get the photos and have these skills to help people maneuver out of their own way to be openness itself, to open openness. You can meet Chogyam Trungpa, meet Buddha, meet Sai Baba, Vishnu, Ganesh, Rama, Krishna, Sri Kaleshwar. It goes on. Mother Teresa. Listen like you would anybody else. They're experts in a real sense. I'm not saying don't do the Super Soul Sunday crowd. They're fantastic. But at some point, why not get lit up? Have a little act of grace happen. Religious, non-religious grace. Letting go. Begin the real journey. Everyone has a unique life path. Have a blast with getting your answers and learning to fine-tune how you're spending your energy daily. And that's the bigger thing. How you approach your energy. Most of us run around unconscious about it. It doesn't let us off the hook for the consequences. So the Buddhists like to call that suffering and everything else. We all know, some painful paths, painful experiences. You can have a lot less of that the more savvy you are for listening and realizing when you're focusing on others or focusing on anything, that's what you're inviting in more of. So if you're constantly like, that person's a jerk, that person's a jerk, that's what you're going to experience more of. If you're putting your focus on just being happy for no reason at all, that's what you're going to experience more of. It's quite the experience learning kind of the rules of the game. And there's a lot of authors out there that are here to try to help you out with that. One author that I want to give a shout out to, I think I have him on Facebook, and I'm really grateful that he accepted my invite. I'm not sure he knows who I am. Hopefully he wouldn't delete me if he found out who I am. But I mean, I have seriously handed out hundreds of his books. It's not Eckhart Tolle, who I have handed out hundreds of his books, but Karl Hammerschlag. I'm forgetting the doctor. It's Patch Adams, who wears the clown nose on his nose to cheer up patients and uses a lot of humor and presence, healing presence. He's in his heart. People can feel that, an authentic presence. Karl Hammerschlag has got The Dancing Healers and I think The Theft of the Spirit or Theft of Spirit. Those two books are beautiful, 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 beautiful. Don't go look at them on YouTube. Go read those books. His narrative literary voice in those books is gorgeous. They're quick reads. I love Don Miguel Ruiz's Four Agreements. I've had 3 or 4 different times between his sons and him. I've had 3 or 4 different groups of people who are like, you should meet him. We're going to try to arrange this. Print out my book, send it over. Who knows? Maybe one day I will. I'm a huge fan of Dan Millman. Not that I necessarily want to meet the guy, but I mean, I even wrote him a letter and sent some photos of angels. I was a complete dweeb like everyone is about their favorite author. And I've given out a lot of Peaceful Warrior, Way of the Peaceful Warrior books. The movie Peaceful Warrior is such a easy crowd pleaser. It's like a Disney film. 2006 with Nick Nolte, Amy Smart, very zen-like, just about gymnastics, but it is like the Christmas Carol. It's about what we all go through on a daily basis. We swing from thinking down to our heart briefly, back to thinking. So pain, suffering, the pain body, making things complex when you could just take a breath and keep it easy. Dan Millman has a wonderful way with words. I've never taken any of his courses, but I could definitely say you're not going to go wrong with more Dan Millman in your life. But at the end of the day, if you want to meet Socrates, Dan, no offense here, you can meet Sock. And come grab me if anybody ever knows you, sees this video, tells you, hey, he's claiming you can meet an angel named Socrates. You can't. I'll introduce you to 30 other angels. It's on the house. If you're still with Joy, your wife, she can do it as well. I make that offer all the time. 8 years now. I don't get taken up by a lot of folks on this. If I reach out to some of the big institutes where you go for your yoga classes, your wellness classes, or to go to see a visiting Deepak Chopra, there's not a lot of folks who can get past the metrics question or anything else. I'm offering for anyone to meet Jesus full on. Have a chat. Jeans, white shirt, great sense of humor. Jesus is big business for good reasons and not so good reasons. You can meet Chogyam Trungpa, Kuan Yin, Buddha, Mother Teresa, St. Francis, St. Gerard, and St. Anthony, Plato, Seneca, again, Native American chiefs. Short of me levitating, I don't think I could come up with anything else. Maybe having an angel stand here right over my shoulder. But plenty of folks, when I'm talking to them, will see balls of light, a streak of light. So if you want, take a breath right now, ask the universe to help, ask them to help you out of your head, into your heart. If you are a loosey-goosey, happy-go-lucky person and actually, can vibe out a little, just feel it here, go ahead and see a little bit of light. I will hold my finger up to the screen. Few people will have gotten 33 minutes into this video or even made it to this video out of 15 others. Go ahead and, let me find the camera. Go ahead and see if you can see a little bit of energy on the tip of my finger. And take a breath, leave your mouth a little bit open. Ask your higher self, your soul. You can see your soul too. It looks like Northern Lights. You can go to the Akashic Records. You can hear about old Egypt. Lots of side currents, side topics that people are interested in. Go ahead and see if you can see a little energy on the tip of my finger. Absolutely anybody who's not there yet to do that and you think that's crazy, you're right. It's crazy, except that's what we can end up doing. Angels can make anything possible. You can see butterflies all across your room. You can talk to your dog, listen to your dog. Dogs are like third graders. You can get to know your dog's guardian angel. I have a dog at my feet. I have a dog behind me. I have a cat who thinks she's a dog sitting in the sun on a bench by the window. This is a really big concept, meeting angels. I'm just here to say if you went out tonight on a walk, forget about Mike Ford. Allow for angels to exist. Say, angels, I might not be able to hear and see you this exact second, but can you look out for me? Can you help guide me even more? Can you help me open up more in the weeks and months ahead? Help me breathe and relax and smile. I think that's the biggest thing you can do for yourself. A single breath brings you into your power, authentic self, in the heart, in the moment. And that is where every single thing happens. I love Abraham Hicks. I totally forgot to mention her. Go to her seminars. Not a bad experience. You're in a group thing. I did it, I think, in November in San Antonio. I just moved to San Antonio. If anybody knows Esther, I'd love to have a cup of coffee with her by video. I think her crowd is more light beings. I haven't specifically asked angels about it. I've got one angel named Charlotte who says she can talk about that, but gives the best advice. A lot of fun. At the end of the day, though, you're still going to her seminars and you're not doing actual listening. So while it's great to be part of a collective and to sit there and to feel the energy, I'm talking about individual accountability, individual owning what you've already got. You might not use it for the rest of your life, but you could. At any point, anybody can let go of what they know, own it here more, which you would do on the athletic field if you play soccer. You would do in the kitchen if you go to make a certain specific dish, you know how to make it well. You would do if you go to write the book and you're a seasoned author. You're a seasoned marathon runner. You're a seasoned business person. There are certain elements of your life where you don't even think twice. You do it. You're a human piranha, and I mean that in a complimentary way. You rock and roll. That's all this is. You have the ability to listen. You have the ability to get hugs. You have the ability to see. You think it's a big deal. It's not. It is a big deal. It's like riding a bike, driving a car for the first time, brushing the teeth when you were a kid, learning how to brush your teeth, but nobody worries about those things anymore. You probably don't even ride a bike anymore. So angels are here to help. Simply allow that to be. If anybody wants their own private course, and it's probably a better deal, maybe $50, I have 3 online classes where you ditch me altogether. They're less than 30 minutes a piece. Go to michaelandreford.com, www.michaelandreford.com. It's direct. You download the video. That you buy, no refunds. I have a $5 book, 7 Angels Step Forward. You get photos of angels. It's a 1-page forward, 1-page intro, 5 pages how-to, 5 pages of troubleshooting, an appendix that rocks. Why angels now? How is this possible? Angels wrote the book. If you think I wrote it in any way, I'm laughing because it's a beautifully written, compassionate, gentle little book. Go to my website, hit the testimonials page, hit all testimonials. There's at least 3 or 4 book reviews or 5 in there about the book, plus 50 plus testimonials from some amazing figures. A NASA oceanographer, near-death expert, Ingrid Hankala. Thank you, Ingrid. You're amazing. Love engaging you. Barnett Bain, the Hollywood film director. Chip Conley from Airbnb, but also lots of spiritual self-help to offer people. So anything he's doing these days, if he's making the hotel resort circuit, try to look for him, try to look for his next book. Who else? Jonathan Ellerby, the ex-Canyon Ranch spiritual director, who's now running the Althea Center in Denver. What a fun person. 11 years Native American studies, and a lot of offerings there. I love what everybody else is doing, but there's a huge missing component. Super Soul Sunday, all those Mark Nepos, Gary Zukav. I think he channeled Seed of the Soul. I love that book. Seed of the Soul, check that one out. Super Soul Sunday is wonderful, but now picture what happens if 50 of Oprah's 100 staff are willing, and that's the thing. You can't force this on anyone. I mean, who's crazy enough to actually want to meet unconditional love beings? Light beings, fairies, Native American chiefs, Audrey Hepburn, Buddha, Kuan Yin, Sai Baba, Krishna, Ganesh, you name it. Who would actually want to meet those figures? Because it makes you quake in your boots. Except this is just about more unconditional love and compassion. It's getting out of thinking, which is its own form of lower vibe consciousness. And that is the big thing in front of mankind. We think it's climate change. And what happens if, just since nothing's absolute and there's always another perspective, what happens if it's not up to humans to fix anything? I throw that hand grenade out there. If you and I are building a factory with smokestacks, clearly we want to be responsible and accountable for what we're pouring out. If it's sulfur dioxide into the atmosphere, that's a bad thing. That's an obvious layup. Maybe, though, all this fixation on the problems, this person's wrong, you have to do it this way. There's only one way to look at stuff, one way to think. I think that's just more thinking. I think that's a reflection of the rat race going on for everyone daily. And if you looked at a person's energy output, it ain't pretty with the judging and thinking that we're doing. Now, that said, it's how it is. I'm not here to tell people stop thinking. It's just not possible. It's part of the human condition. It's where our species is at. You know, Eckhart Tolle will label that as insanity and the whole destruction thing, and he goes off in a lot of directions on that. I'm going to try to keep it simple. More love and compassion is available. 10% a day. That's it. Be in your heart. Take a chance. Ask, listen, get your answers. Get your hugs. The photos will move and change colors. You'll see an angel, Audrey Hepburn, Hollywooded out in her gown. When she unfolds her wings, lots of sparkles, panache. It's cool. Multiple people can do this, listening, getting a group hug, group seeing. I am off the hook on this. But if you go to one of the big institutes, name anything in North America, name anybody who's seasoned, who has been in the wellness, holistic, self-help, woo-woo-woo field and is a best-selling author or just happens to be one of those guest lecturers at one of those institutes that would host a Deepak Chopra or Deepak or whoever. This is a big concept. This blows apart their knowing and it interferes with their self-perceived role in society and the world. So it's a disrupting experience. Meeting angels is meeting angels. There's 150 plus angels. There's thousands of angels. Everyone has their own guardian angel, their own cheerleading squad. The cool thing is, again, this is direct. You get your answers. No limits may mean really no limits. It takes courage. It's the Story Musgraves quote, that NASA astronaut, that exploration is getting out of the comfortable to explore. I slaughtered that. But if you look at my last Facebook post on my personal page, you'll find that quote at the bottom. So I have a ton of testimonials, 50 plus. I've got photos. This is a direct experience. I step out of the way. There's not much more I can do short of an angel showing up or Jesus walking on stage right now and saying, yes, we're here. Engage us. So check out that $5 book. $250 is 90 minutes. I sneak a few extra figures in. I usually sneak a little extra time in too. It's $1,100 for a whole day. A whole day is like running a marathon. You're not going to be going out to a dance party that night. You want to go to bed a little bit early, drink lots of water. You're in the full flow. You're getting the works. But I have two programs that are 3 months and 6 months. And this is the big thing. Your ego can allow you to do the service, can allow you to be open long enough and in the heart to get your answers, get your hugs, and so on. But a few days later, you might go back to being shut like an oyster again. So what I love about the 3-month program and the 6-month program is it lets you over time stay honest and stay smack on your unique life path as it unfolds in life. Angels will continually help you and remind you to let go. And yes, to pursue all the tactical goals that are important to you, the relationship thing, the family thing, the health thing, the business stuff, the career stuff, the traveling stuff, real estate, you name it. But by showing up again and again over 27 hours, 3 months, so it's 3 times a week, 3 times a month, sorry, for 3 hours each, so that's 9 hours a month for 3 months, 27 hours. So 3 hours, 3 hours, 3 hours, you skip 1 week in each month. That's 27 hours, that's $4,500, and in 6 months, it's $12,000, but you're getting 72 hours. If you pull out a calculator and do the math, it's no different than an expensive masseuse. You're getting a one-of-a-kind, unique experience. You're getting anything you can really put yourself out there for. There are going to be plenty of people who could try to judge this. It is what it is. Remember, the scientific community is rooted in such factual stuff that they gut each other or cut each other's throats all the time. You make a discovery one moment, 3 weeks later you're getting crushed by the scientific community one way or the other, and then you're discovery falls by the wayside as somebody discovers something even more new on the same topic. This would be pretty incredible because they could ask about the scientific formula and probably get the answer. At least be given some pointers. Imagine what sort of breakthroughs would happen the second scientists ditched their rigidity, what they know. But even some of the woo-woo-woo scientists out there who have a reputation for shaking up the scientific community, they themselves would be very scared to actually do the service. It's much easier to entrust your questions to a 1920s, 1930s psychic type, and they're fantastic. Again, I'm a huge fan of Hollywood medium Tyler Henry, Kim Rousseau, Long Island medium, you name it. There are just some fantastic figures. They do what they do. But anyone these days, the human condition is opened up somehow. Anyone with a big heart can get any answers to any questions, even meeting and hearing passed over loved ones. That's right. So, but you got to own the angel part. I think that's going to be it for today, except I'm going to go ahead and see if I can find some questions that have been donated back anywhere from 8 years ago, 5 years ago, about angels, like what are angels about, stuff like that. Any sort of wisdom here. So I help you to find what is needed within yourself instead of seeking it from outside sources. Now, I'm not knocking those institutes, the self-help, the woo-woo-woo, the spiritual resort communities that have a spiritual practice or program. Go do it. But at some point, you're going to realize there's got to be more. And that's what I'm getting at is you're going to save yourself a lot of money the second you come to me and I help you blow it out fully. You can meet Uncle Henry on the other side. You can meet Archangel Michael. You can see Archangel Michael. You can get your answers and hear more about your unique life path. We've all spent a lot of time thinking and blocking tons of stuff in life. So you get guidance. You take a break right now. Grab some water as you're watching this. I'm looking for questions about angels just to have cool insight about angels. I will find something here. So here's one question from 2013 in August. Somebody asked, what does Mike do? And Dull Knife said, makes me smile, brings me close to my inner self, and I teach that you have no limits. Red Shirt said, wants everyone to know they're angels. He wants us all to have peace and rid the world of anger. Geronimo, helps you to meet your ego, teaches you to tame it, helps you to listen to yourself. I thought that was kind of beautiful. Yes, the caveat is I don't want to try to tell anybody anything. These videos are absolutely the antithesis of the way I roll, which I wish I could broadcast this video to the 8,000 or 9,000 people I've sat patiently listening to, including some publishing houses the last 8 years, who didn't bother to do a single thing. Didn't want to see their energies on their hands, didn't want to meet an angel, and yet they run around living and breathing, seeing your energy on your hand, Buddha, Kuan Yin, Jesus, angels, spirituality, and so on. Not judging. Everyone is where they are, but it's kind of archaic and it's kind of 1800s and hello to 2020 and meeting angels and more. This stuff is so simple. Anyone who's running around doing the advertisements for a seminar and so on, I'm going to kind of say, hey, why not cut to the chase and just meet angels? You can get so much more done. Then run off to the seminars. Let's get a question, though, about angels. I am looking through 26 pages here, and of course, it's taking a while. Here we go. Here, what to know about angels. They live in you. You teach them. They don't discriminate. How about that? What to know about the 3 Native American chiefs? An angel named Joy said about the 3 chiefs. They are fun. They can see the way things can be done. Another angel, happens to be my guardian angel, described the 3 chiefs as they are wise. They can foresee the future to serve you. Angels do the same thing too. But the Native American chiefs are fun. They're like your long lost uncles. Super wise, super cool. Dull Knife is wisdom with some humor, like a mountain range. Red Shirt is the gentlest mom in the world. Not a manly description at all, but Red Shirt's Red Shirt, the real historical Red Shirt. He's compassion, compassion, compassion. His photo will say it all. Geronimo is action. He's dry wit, humor, roguish, a lightning bolt. Just do it. If the first two are proper and formal, Geronimo is much more yeah, nah, slang. Can do cultural stuff. He's like a Zen master, actually. Keeps you on your toes, keeps you honest, and gets you moving. What to know about angels in general? This is from 2016. They can alter your path, and they can help you look through people, situations, or things. Red shirt, an act of love. See what matters. Feel the energy of others. Geronimo. Geronimo gave personal advice there. Let's find another angel one. Sorry, guys, I'm just grabbing questions randomly off my desk that happen to be nearby. What to know about angels in general? Pay attention. They are here. Listen to everything they are providing. They're waiting by your side when you need them. That's a big thing. Just getting out of your own way and trusting that they're there. You're heard in every single moment. You're not getting judged. You have privacy, but you have no privacy. It's a fine line. Ask for the help. Don't worry about getting here completely. Just be like, hey, sock it to me. Make my day more interesting. That's all you have to do is learn to start getting out of your own way. It's like a good soccer player does. Stretching, but mentally stretching before they get on the field and scoring 4 goals in a row. Red shirt, about angels here, describing angels. They come in all colors, shapes, and sizes. Become a child heart. And then he referenced me. Mike knows. Yeah, but I try not to say too much. Okay, Geronimo. Believe every time. That's being in your heart. Many questions, one answer. Be present in the din. Okay, I don't think that was about as much about angels as so on. Okay, what to know about mankind and more compassion? Let's go for a big picture question. Plato once said, probably back in 2015, the compassion starts with you as an individual, as with all other individuals. And that is what I call the 3-foot rule. You can only control, and this is Eat, Pray, Love with groceries, that scene in the movie, Julia Roberts and that wonderful other actor. You can only control your thoughts and what clothes you wear daily. And whatever's within 3 feet of you as well. So if you're worrying about stuff around the globe, the situation with the world, pollution and everything else, yes, it's a great cause, but odds are you're running around judging and thinking so much that if you could just temper that down a little bit, 10% less thinking a day, you would be doing the world a huge favor when it comes to, quote, pollution. But I'm talking negativity. Ease up on the accelerator, that's called thinking, and enjoy the ride more. 10% a day, less thinking, being in your heart more. Compassion for self, kindness for self, love for self, and treat everyone else you meet, no matter how horrendous or complex you think they are. Give them some breathing room. Appreciate that everyone is on their own unique life path. Compassion for all is bigger than most of us can really allow for. We love to do judging first. Compassion is kind of a distant concept. We all would agree compassion's a good thing, but actually doing compassion can be a real struggle. Look, I've gone 52 minutes here. I'm going to sign off. My Listening to Angels book is available on Amazon, iTunes. It's $4.99. It's a quick read. It's beautiful. There's people who reread it a lot. It's hard-hitting in a sense. You can definitely tell I did not write this book. It's a treat, though. And it is written by angels. I saw balls of light as I was writing. I have a longer book called Glow Stick Zen. 1,700 pages. Do not read that book. Very few people have. It would cost you $100 in its entirety at iTunes. That's where you go to buy the whole thing. If you only want to spend $9.99 at a time, it's 22 books. And that's on Amazon. It's broken into 22 little books. It's baby steps up the mountain. It's 1,700 pages to do what the Eckhart Tolle book tries to do. It's helping you separate from your ego and to realize there's more awareness, consciousness, compassion, love, kindness to be had, and that the universe is bigger than you think it is. It's a beautiful book. Glow Stick Zen, gorgeous cover, lots of humor, lots of quotes in it, lots of fun. I have a flowers book, I think for $4.99. It's straight photography. It's a book called Flowers. Get to Michael André Ford and Amazon. Find my author page. It's super easy to find. Amazon.com/author/angels, not my name. If you love the mystery action writer James Patterson, you would go to Amazon. Amazon.com/author/James Patterson. You don't need my name. Just put the word angels in. You'll get to my Amazon author profile. All my books are there. I think I have 2 books on clouds, cloud photography. I got really lucky with a camera, an iPhone, don't tell anybody. Took amazing cloud shots. I have an angel named Jamie who helps me with those. Flowers, 2 cloud books. So if you want to go non-denominational, non-woo-woo-woo, straight flowers, straight clouds, you can support a wonderful artist here in San Antonio, Texas. If you want to grab me again for sessions for 90 minutes, it's $250, $1,100 for the day, $4,500 for 3 months, which you will learn a lot. I teach you everything I know. How to listen, how to expand your intuitive skills, all of it. How to taste the sky, have your life path defined. If you think I'm doing the work for you, it's the opposite. I find a way to help you to open up to receive all directly from angels and other unconditional love guides and figures. They work with you directly, and it's a very intense, amazing unlocking, unfolding of you. You're so much bigger always than you think you are. I feel like I'm now doing one of those Louise Hay House seminars or one of those Tony Robbins things. But the message is true. There's always more in life waiting for you, ready to unfold the second you can get out of your own way. So, again, 3 classes, video classes that I taped. If you didn't want to engage me directly, go to my website. Those are non-refundable. It's $49.99. You meet 1 angel in each class. I do a little bit of talking. You get a photograph, pen and paper. You learn how to do it directly. What else? I think that's it for now. Stay tuned. Talk to everybody next Thursday. Make sure you find my YouTube channel, Michael André Ford. Just search that on YouTube. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Please like some posts on Facebook, although people have, and thank you very much for that. I have a Facebook business page, only about 670 likes versus the 1,500 on the personal Facebook page. Find that and like that if you could. All the little steps that you do to support my efforts to help people help themselves, and that was a big, long thing, really do make a difference. And thank you again. If you know anybody who has a lot of guts, send them my way. It takes a lot of guts to allow for angels, but to do even the booking, to show up, it takes a lot of guts. Thank you again. Have fun. And I'll speak with you next time. Take care. Bye.